when we're in the process of becoming something new, what most people fail to see is that limitation and limiting beliefs can come up to the surface. And then when we can't see what's really going on and see the process of transformation that's happening to see it for what it really is, almost like from an objective perspective, although it's not quite objective, it's more subjective, because everything in this reality is subjective and relative. It's so important to see that transformation as a whole usually means that there's going to be some sort of limiting beliefs coming up to the surface. Now, I'm not going to say always, but what I have found is that they can come up, and they a lot of the times do. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to overcome limiting beliefs when transforming into a new version of who you are, how to see them for what they really are, how to overcome them. And not only am I going to share with you how to overcome them in one area of your life, I'm going to be sharing with you the core of how transformation works and how you can use this understanding in any area of your life that you're developing, that you're trying to become something in, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's you trying to become a better speaker. Any new skill set that you are developing in your life is going to bring up limiting beliefs most of the time. And we're going to be talking about how to overcome that in any area of your life. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation to see if you're a good fit for the coaching program to work with me one-on-one personally. Also, I do have a group program coming up in the next couple of months. So if you want to be a part of the program, or if you want more details on the program, enrollment is closing soon. Definitely check out the link in the description box of this video as well. So the first step to overcoming limiting beliefs when transforming into a new version of who you are is to have an awareness and an understanding that limiting beliefs coming up in the process of developing a new skill set that you've never learned before, becoming an entirely new version of you, is completely normal. And we sometimes forget that, where we just don't know that it is. Like if you're becoming something you've never been before, whether you're becoming a business owner, whether you're becoming, an artist, learning a new skill in your art, perfecting some sort of a craft, learning a skill set, it's completely normal to have a limiting thought. Even if you're enlightened, even if you're spiritual, having a thought that comes in saying, can I really do this, is normal. The key, and we'll get to this more in depth later, is not to erase the thoughts, is to develop a different relationship with the thoughts that are going to come up in the transformation process. Because to say that, they're not going to come up, and to have an expectation that you're going to be clear-minded 100%, totally clear, not say that you can't be a clear-minded a majority of the time, but limiting beliefs will arise. Even if you can have peace during all of it, they still might pop up. And we're going to talk about how to maintain your peace while they come up, but most people don't. And so limiting beliefs coming up is completely normal. It's completely normal. So if you're becoming a business owner and you're wondering, can I really start this business? Can I really create this? Can I really do that? Understand that those thoughts are normal. Now the tricky thing with limiting beliefs is that because we can't see them for what they are, it doesn't seem like a limiting belief. It seems like this is just the way that it is. This is the truth, Francis. It's not in alignment with my path. No. Anything you want to create can be in alignment with your path. You can make it in alignment with your path if you want to create it. If you want to step into that area of your life, you're free to do so. And some people think that, oh, this isn't meant for me. They might take my videos and take the advice that I give and say, oh yeah, this doesn't feel in alignment, it's not for me. When little do they realize that all that's stopping them is a limiting belief, a limitation. And what I want you to understand is that it's normal to have a limiting thought when you are becoming something new. So I'll go back to the example of being a business owner. If you're becoming a business owner and you've never done that before, maybe you're learning how to do sales, maybe you're learning how to, sell your services or perfect giving the value that you're giving, whether you're an artist or a coach or whatever you do in your life. Whatever you do, if you're learning a new skill set and you start to doubt yourself in the process, that is normal. I experienced doubt. I experienced limiting beliefs coming up when I started my business, when I started my YouTube channel, when I dropped out of school, and that's normal. But what I did do was I changed the relationship that I had to those limiting beliefs. The key is not to try to get rid of them, it's to see them for what they are and understand that they are normal, which brings me to the second step in this video, which is to allow the limiting beliefs to come up to the surface. Let them come up. Let them come up to the surface. Why be in resistance to something that is normal? In fact, most of the time, it's something that needs to be cleansed and needs to come up in the transformational process to allow you to become the version of yourself that you want to be. It's totally normal. And when you can start seeing that, so many doors that were previously closed in your life are going to open up. It does not matter what area of life we're talking about here. If you want to become a business owner, you're going to have to go through, most of the times, limiting belief. And I say most of the time because maybe there's some person out there that somehow, doesn't experience this. I don't know. But what I've seen within myself, within my clients, is that it's normal and it does come up and it's part of the process. You might be confused. You might not know. You might have limiting thoughts. Of course, because you've never learned that area of your life. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on. You've never learned that area. Why would you have the perfect thoughts? If you've never made $5,000, $10,000 in a month in your life consistently, why would you have the belief system that you can do that? Now, yeah, can you do things like affirmations to convince yourself that you are? Sure. But even then, what do you think's gonna come up to the surface? Oh, I don't believe that's true. I don't know if I can do that. You use the affirmation. What's gonna come up also? I don't know if I can do this. Is that affirmation really gonna work? Is that gonna happen? Is this gonna work? Am I gonna be able to sustain this part of my business? Is that gonna work? Do I really have the skill sets? No, maybe you don't. Maybe because you have to go learn it. You see what I'm saying? It's normal. It's normal to have these kind of thoughts. And the key is to allow the limiting beliefs to come up to the surface. So what I've noticed in my life and with my clients is that the key is not to try to get rid of them. The key is to understand that they're normal and then change the relationship that you have with these limiting thoughts. So when you're starting a business, you might doubt yourself. That's fine. I want to set the expectation for you right now. Set the expectation that you're gonna have limiting beliefs. Or it's possible, not that it has to happen, because I don't want to, set you up for something that doesn't have to happen. Maybe for you, for whatever reason, it doesn't come up for you, but expect that it might. It might happen, and if it does, it's normal. And you want to change your relationship to that. The beliefs are gonna come up, but the question is, can you almost not identify with them? Can you see that that's what they are? Can you almost just see them for what they are and kind of not care that they're there? Which brings me to the third step, which is to proceed with what you're doing anyways. Keep moving forward, right? Once you see, like the second step is to allow them to come up. Be okay with them coming up. Don't be in resistance to the limiting beliefs. Because let's say you're at A and you want to be at B. From A to B, just be okay with the fact and allow whatever limiting beliefs need to come up to the surface. And it's okay if you want to be the version of you that has the business, that has the confidence that you want, that's not scared to talk to people, or whatever it is that you want to do. The process to becoming that, be okay that in that process from here to here, be okay with the fact that potentially limiting beliefs might come up to the surface. And that, I know that doesn't have to be a negative thing. It can be a positive thing, because you can just ask yourself, hey, am I okay with this? Am I, like, look, I'll ask you right now, are you okay with the fact that maybe in the process of transforming to whatever you want to become, you might be confused sometimes, you might not know certain things, surprise, surprise, because you never learned how to be that way. I think people forget that all the time. That's why I'm saying it in that way, because people have an expectation that they have to know everything to be that version of themselves when they never actually learned it. Be compassionate towards yourself if you've never learned how to be a certain way in the world and that you have limitation along the way. It doesn't mean it's not meant for you. It just means you never learned how to be that way and how to be compassionate towards yourself in the process of having the limiting beliefs come up. And I say that from a place of love. And I said it exaggerated because this is the biggest thing that stops people from entering the reality they want. Is limiting beliefs that they think is the truth. Because people will fight for their limitations. They'll fight for it. They'll say, no, Francis, this is true because this. Like, they'll actually fight for it. I've noticed this in my clients. People will actually fight for their limitations because the ego doesn't want to transform. But if we can understand that the transformation process is going to involve sometimes limiting beliefs, you can literally transform into anything that you want. The question is, are you okay being confused sometimes? Is that cool with you? If the answer is yes, you've just set yourself up for the probability of you being successful just increased by tenfold. That's the way you set yourself up in that moment when you're okay with limiting beliefs coming up, if that's cool with you. Maybe for some people it'll be more than others, but think about it like this. How can it be any other way? How can you not have those thoughts if you're shifting into a new version of what you are? I'm saying I exaggerate it because people forget that. You're literally transforming. You're letting go of the old, you're tearing it down, and you're becoming something entirely new. Why would you be comfortable in that process? It's going to involve discomfort, but it doesn't have to mean that you have to resist. You can be in a state of non-resistance during that discomfort. Discomfort doesn't have to mean suffering and resistance. Discomfort and transformation, if you can allow it to be the way it is, it can be actually pretty peaceful. Now, peace doesn't mean you feel good. You might feel, confused. You might not know. You might be lost sometimes. You might have thoughts come up. You might not really understand. Allow all of that to come up to the surface and be compassionate towards yourself when that comes up. And of course, the final step, once you allow it to come up, is to proceed anyways. So you're thinking, oh, maybe I don't know if I can accomplish this thing in my business. The question is, do you have to believe in that story? Do you have to believe in the limiting thought? Or can you see it, observe it, and just proceed anyways? Just do it anyways. Ignore it. Ooh, I don't know if I'm worth charging these prices in my business. See the thought? Let it go. Go do it anyways. Who would have thought that you could ignore a thought, ignore what your mind is saying, and go take action anyways? Now, I'm not saying to take action from a space of fighting and resistance. you can make yourself feel peaceful in the process. That's what I always invite people to do, is to take action from a space of what you call aligned action. Because when you can take aligned action, what begins to happen is you can actually feel good in the process and actually not allow those limiting beliefs to drain you emotionally. This is what I mean when I say change the relationship that you might have to the limiting beliefs that come up to the surface, because they might come up, but the question is how sticky are they going to be? How attached are you going to be to those limitations? And how much are they going to drain you emotionally? Or can they just be flying clouds that pop up in your consciousness? Now, sometimes they might be a little bit worse than others. Maybe you might have emotional things that come up to the surface, but the question is, do you need to be sucked into that? Do you have to really identify with that? Or can you just see it for what it is, clear it, allow it to be, and then take action anyways? These limiting beliefs, when you can change your relationship to them, cleanse them, and you take action anyways, here's the beautiful thing. The moment you move towards something you want to create and you start to see it manifest in your life, those limiting beliefs will no longer be valid. So that version of you that believed you couldn't make the money, or get that first client in your business, or do this thing in your life, the moment you get that thing, that limiting belief is no longer going to come up, because you literally saw the proof. It's no longer valid. So I am a firm believer, so to speak, of believe it before you see it. But that's the thing. You want to trust yourself enough to, believe that it's possible, but don't let the limiting belief stop you from taking action, because that's part of building the belief. And the moment you get that first client, you won't be able to hold the belief any longer of I can't attract my first client, because you literally prove to yourself that it is invalid. It's invalid. It's no longer a program that makes sense, because you literally prove to yourself that it's not true. You say, I don't know, I can't make 5K a month in my business. That's not possible. Maybe it's possible for somebody else, but it's not possible for me. The moment you hit that 5K and you proceed anyways, despite what your mind might be saying to you and the stories it might be coming up with, you no longer can hold that belief system, can you? You've proven to yourself that it's just not true. You want to understand that limiting beliefs don't have to stop you from moving forward with the thing that you want to create. It just doesn't. It just does not. It does not have to stop you. You thinking you can't do something has nothing to do with you actually doing it. Nothing. You thinking you don't have the capability to do something has nothing to do with if you actually have the capability. Maybe you can't do it. Maybe you don't have the skill sets. And that's normal. If you're learning how to, talk to people, be more social, you've never done that before, for example, maybe you've never learned how to do it 100%. Be okay that you don't know how to do that. Humble yourself, humble your ego. Don't expect that you have to know it all. Ask some help from people. Expect that limiting beliefs are going to come up, and you'll find that you learn a lot faster, and you can overcome those limitations very quick when you can change the relationship that you have to them and not be in resistance to the limiting beliefs that come up to the surface, and proceed and do the things that you want to do anyways. And this is when you'll start to change your reality and transform yourself into the person that you really want to be anyways. So that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, I do have a group program coming up in the next couple of months. Enrollment is closing soon. So if you want to be part of the program, or if you want more details on the program, the link will be in the description box of this video for that as well. Enrollment is closing soon, so if you want to be a part of it, definitely check the link that's in the description box of this video. So, as always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.